You got headphones on?
Yeah.
Okay. I just turned the air conditioner off, so it's gonna be hot in here. So let's just try to bust one out.
Ooh.
Are you baked?
No, I quit.
You quit? Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. You know me.
How'd you do that without going to Florida?
I know. Right? Well, it's basically been Florida outside, so.
Oh, okay. So you've just been taking it easy?
Yeah, I just been working and sweating and sleeping.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. All right. So let's start with
I bought an ounce on Friday, and I smoked it all by Saturday. So I was like, oh my God.
Jeez, is that yourself?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
man.
That's something
terrible.
I did like as a teenager, like trying to do it to see if I could.
That's what a 12-year-old does.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sober.
Okay. Well, all right. So what's a good title?
Well, I was thinking The Unknown Guest.
Okay. The
Uninvited
guest.
Or The Uninvited Guest? No, that's
all right.
That's too common.
How about just uninvited guests?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So who are our...
And it's spelled Uninvited Guest -TSE.
So maybe the uninvited guest is some kind of snake creature?
Yeah, I like snakes. I love snakes.
Well, I don't know. Okay, all right. How about just uninvited guests? and who are our main characters?
Oh, it's a dinner party.
It's a dinner party, so a couple 30-somethings.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
it's like, I think the couple just moved into the new apartment or house.
I'm seeing it as it's a couple that just moved into a new house, and then a couple they invited over, and then two single friends that they also invited, almost as like a sly way of like setting them up without letting them know.
But then they immediately understand and they get kind of pissed.
They're shy. The fella is the man's weird friend, and the girl is the lady's weird friend.
Yeah. And they both pull each other's, male and female friend aside and ask them, what the fuck?
Yeah. And they're like, what? She's cute. Don't you think she's cute? And these are rich people.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
upper class. Like, these are the kids who went to school to, like, be doctors and then actually became them.
These are lower upper class people.
Yes.
Trashy they're rich, but they're not so rich.
Class.
Okay, this isn't interesting. Let's go. Let's make the story happen. Okay, so what's our main couple's name? The hosts. How about Donna and Rob?
Donna and Rob. Wow.
Okay, yeah. And the other couple is Greg and Berletta.
Yes.
And then our two singles are Naomi and
Mr. Watts.
And I don't think he should be Mr. Watts. He should probably go by a first name. How about Mike?
Yes, Mike Watts.
Okay. So they're all arriving. We kind of have like so it is the setup for a dinner party. They're still cooking, but people are getting there. They're sending them to the table. They're bringing wine. There's like highs and how are yous. But while all of this is happening, we have very serious, stern music playing that doesn't quite match the scene. Like it should be like a scene from like The Big Chill, that song from Dinner and a Movie, Grits and Cornbread, should be playing, but instead it's like dun 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 dun.
And it's just this foreboding music in the background.
Yeah. Well, no, yes, that's the soundtrack interlaced with the credits and these like happy scenes of the guests arriving.
Oh, okay. So there's no like dialogue over this music.
There is. It's like, oh hi. It's just like it's bullshit, vacuous like dinner party. Like
just because the credits are still rolling.
Yeah, but also like to set the scene. We have this weird juxtaposition between the soundtrack and the scene and the dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay. So that happens. Then
yeah. No, what?
That happens. Then all of a sudden, uninvited guests.
Well, I was gonna say
letters.
they. Oh yeah. So uninvited guests, big letters for sure.
Black background. Then the black background fades. The letters stay as it fades. It fades to this overhead shot of them all sitting at the dinner table.
Yes, I was just gonna say that.
And they're laughing, and then the letters fade.
Yeah. And so they start talking, and they're like, it's kind of like an awkward silence, and then who's Donna, right?
Yep.
Donna's
That's
like
the hostess.
So is the filet cooked enough, everyone?
Maybe I don't think they should be talking about the food. I think that
I was going somewhere with this.
Okay, yeah, go. Sorry, buddy. I'm trying to bust it out before it gets too hot in here.
I can hear that.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So she starts, trying to small talk to get rid of the awkward silence. But her real plan is to get Beatrice and Mr. Smith.
No, don't make up names. It's Naomi and Mike.
They're trying to get Naomi and Mike, a conversation started. So she's like, oh, Naomi, did you know that Mike dropped out of the CIA?
The Culinary Institute of America?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he goes,
for listeners who aren't from the Mid-Hudson Valley, the CIA is like a big culinary school. It's not the Central Intelligence Agency.
Molly knows what the CIA is.
Okay, yeah.
So then he's like, well, I wouldn't say dropped out. I mean,
Yeah, that's a fucking like rude thing to say.
Yeah,
but I guess she's
really
like a little. Yeah, she's a little. She's like, oh, I didn't mean dropped out. I mean, you went off to start your own business.
He's like, well, I guess my mom got cancer and I had to take over the family business. But I really shouldn't talk about this right now.
And then Rob cuts in. He's like, right. Why are we talking about all that mess? And then they cut to the. And I'm sorry, I forgot what I named the other couple.
It was something like Beatrice, and it was really good.
I don't think it was Beatrice. Beatrice and let's say it's Beatrice and
Samuel.
There you go. He goes, Sammy, you had your own business for a while, didn't you?
Yep. Some gefilte fish.
Why that?
Why Samuel.
That? What is that?
It's a good name.
It's not a Jewish name.
It's a biblical name.
Try again.
Okay. Oh no, never mind. Mm-hmm. What's he saying to him? How's the fish?
I don't know. Never mind. Why are we getting fucking nailed down in this fucking asinine dialogue? We never do this.
And then okay. And then Donna's like, Naomi, did you also know that Robert is recently divorced? And he's like,
actually, my wife died of cancer, and I had to take over her business as well.
and then Donna goes, see, he's an entrepreneur. And then we see Naomi. She goes, she opens her mouth and about to say something, and all of a sudden we hear the doorbell ring.
No, she opens her mouth and is about to say something, and then Samuel grabs her by the chin and looks in her mouth, and he goes, wow. Is that did you have that bridge inlaid recently? And then we find out that Samuel's a dentist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Donna's like, Samuel, how rude.
And he goes, I can't help myself.
Which is funny because Donna was rude.
I see beautiful work done, and I have to appreciate that. Who works on you? Who's your dentist? And she goes, oh, I don't know his name. It's like, it is thankless work, isn't it?
She goes, yeah, it's just, the insurance company sent me there.
So then, yes, you said someone knocked at the door. Is that right?
I wanted like a significant, like, you feel like something's about to happen, but then the doorbell cuts it all off, I was trying to build to that.
How about yeah, a little bit more happens. It gets uncomfortable, and what is the guy's name?
No, okay. So
Mike's.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Mike, so Donna just already embarrassed him twice. The first with the dropping out, and second with the divorce, and then she has to say one more thing, like really rude. What should it be?
Oh, we don't have to worry. She says one more.
She says one more rude thing, and then Mike's like, "Listen," and he's about to like explode, but right when he says like "listen" and puts his finger up, the doorbell rings.
Okay, yeah, and
everyone's like, and then Donna and Robert are like, look at each other like nodding, shaking. Obviously, you can't see me right now, but shaking their heads.
yeah, and Rob goes, yeah, I'll go get that. I don't know who that could be, and he knocks on the door, and it's no one. But immediately, as he opens the door, the night is clear, and then it starts downpouring.
Oh. Then he sees a man running towards the door in the distance with a paper over his head, trying to get out of the rain.
Okay.
And he's running towards the house.
Take it going.
And as he's running, like we see Robert looking like into the rain, like what is that?
As he's running, a car comes by and smashes him.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the car spins off the road and hits a telephone pole.
Yeah. Okay.
No. It's a hit and run. Because we got to get him in the house alone.
Yeah, it's a hit and run, and there's something. The car's going so fast, but a keen observer would notice that this is like a strange, old-fashioned car. Like this car looks like it's from the 30s.
Yeah. That's a long time ago.
But it's going like 100 miles per hour, so you could hardly tell.
And he fucking flies even closer to Robert, basically like on his front porch, like on the front steps.
No. He's still in the middle of the road. Robert runs out. They all run out. The check on him.
Oh yeah. After the crash, we cut back inside to the dinner table, and they're all like small talking. And you hear, and they all go, oh, and they all run. And now they're all on the porch looking. And Robert's like, stop. And they're like, what is it? He goes, oh my God, somebody just got hit. And then he runs out.
Wait, so no, Robert's out there. He's checking on the guy. He yells down there, call the police. She runs in. She calls 911. So the call starts off normal. And he goes, 911, what's your emergency? And like the call's going first. And then all of a sudden, the 911 respondent goes, bring him in. And she goes, what? And she goes, bring him in. Bring him in. And Donna's like confused, and she looks out at Rob and says, they're saying to bring him inside. And he's like, what? And she goes, ma'am, bring him in. And she goes, that's what they're saying. So Rob comes out, and he helps, not Rob.
No, Rob's out there.
Mike comes out and helps Rob.
Yeah. And Rob's like, we got to get him inside. And it's pouring rain. It's really loud. He's like, I always thought you weren't supposed to move the person. He goes, she said that they said to bring him in. He goes, are you sure? What if he has a broken neck? He says, just pick him up.
Yeah. So they bring him in. He is hardly a fucking person. His like pieces are hanging off of him.
Oh, really?
He's smashed to bits. Like covered in, he's wet as a rat, and just covered in blood.
Why is that funny?
Because wet as a rat isn't a fucking saying.
Could have fooled me.
And they drag him in, and then Donna starts freaking out because they're getting blood everywhere. And Robert's like, not now. I'll get you a new fucking couch. This guy's dying.
Yeah, she's like, oh, God, his hand is bleeding all over my rug. She goes, and then Mike's like, that's not his hand. I think that's his foot.
Yeah.
Because he's all fucked up.
He's all fucked up.
This is good.
And then Samuel goes, I don't think it's either of those anymore.
Guys, I don't think that's a hand or a foot. And now we have a low shot looking up at them, all looking down at him.
Uh-huh.
And then we see from their perspective, we look down at him. And he's liquefying.
from his perspective, from their perspective, they see him liquefy.
Really? Was this a black hole?
That no, that's what makes sense. What you said doesn't make sense. From his perspective, he liquefies.
No, I said from his perspective, we're looking up at them, looking down at him, and then we cut to their perspective, looking down at him, and they see him liquefying.
No, you didn't.
Check the
say that.
tapes. I really don't know what I said, but that's what I meant.
Okay. All right. He liquefies.
Well, he's slowly. It's not like he's liquefying. It's like he's
Wait, no,
he's melding.
He melts. He melts into
Yeah,
like legit
melting.
goo.
Yeah,
to like
yeah.
a milkshake consistency, and then the ambulance comes up.
Yeah.
And the ambulance comes, and they bring in a body bag. It's so strange. They bring in a body bag. They look at him. They shrug their shoulders. They attach a large straw to the body bag. They put it up to the goo, and then they start squeezing the body bag to make a suction motion to bring all the goo into the body bag. And then there's just a little bit, and then they don't say a word to anyone. They give everyone a dirty look, and they're about to leave. And then one of them looks back and sees there's a little bit of goo left on the carpet, and he goes and licks it up. One big lick.
What? Okay.
And then the ambulance drives off. And there's a ghost cat.
Yes.
No.
That took a stupid turn.
Really? Because I think it's pretty cool and smart.
They made a suction with the body bag, and it went up to the straw.
I haven't said no to any of your ideas yet, so
You have said no to everything.
maybe you can grant me the same courtesy and just try to make this work.
All right. I'd rather a witch come in than that, but fine.
Bring your head closer to the mic.
Yeah.
Well, if you want a witch to come in, just hold your horses. It might happen.
Mm.
Okay, these strange events just unraveled in front of them within the first half hour of their dinner party.
Yeah. So now they're gonna be kind of shell shocked and questioning reality right now.
Yeah, and they start talking about that. I think that
She goes, yeah.
Beatrice is crying.
Beatrice,
yes. She's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
She goes, "What the fuck is going on?"
"This is the craziest damn thing I ever seen." And they, Donna's going.
What? Well, what?
Donna's trying to like rationalize it. She's like,
Yeah, she's one of those people.
yeah, she's like that's how they do that.
I mean,
I think I saw something like that on Chicago Hope once.
and then at this time, and then all of a sudden we see Michael, like he's kind of like he looks like he's nauseous, and he's holding his hand on his head, and he sits down. He like plops on the couch. He's like, "Are you sure there was something in that fillet?" Because now he thinks he's hallucinating. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. And Rob goes, "I don't think I like what you're implying."
Yeah. He goes, "What are you implying? That my wife poisoned us?"
He goes, "I don't know how else to explain."
And Donna's like, "Oh, honey, I don't think that's what he meant." He goes, "No, I think that's what he meant." He goes, "That's not what I'm saying. I just don't know what the fuck is going on here." And then Beatrice, and we cut to Beatrice. She's got her head in her hands, and she's like sobbing.
And then Naomi says, "Maybe we should all go home." And then they look out the door, and there's a cloaked man on a black horse.
Really?
Yep, I said it. We can't take it back now. So make it work.
Okay.
He gets off the horse. He walks to the door. He knocks on because the door's open. Yeah, he knocks on the empty space, but it makes a loud, billowing knock. And they look at him and they say, "Come in." And he steps in. His legs are as long as a normal his legs are
Horse legs.
So he's wearing a cloak, but like his legs might be his whole body. Like,
Yeah.
they're so fucking long. Every step he takes moves him 4.5 feet.
Wait, is that a lot?
I have no idea.
I mean, that's just a nice stride.
No, I think when we take a step, it moves us like 2.5 feet.
Seems like a
If
little
it's just
bit.
one step,
What are you, twinkle toed on the road?
no. Take a step. Get up.
No. All right, I'll go from anywhere from 2 feet to 4 feet.
He's got a crazy walk.
Yeah. You ever see Chitty
What's
Chitty
his-
Bang Bang?
What's his face look? Yeah, I hated it. What does his
You,
face
you know,
look
you know
like?
the old man that walks crazy.
I believe so.
I love that walk. That's how he should walk, but slower.
What I can't endorse that. I don't recall it. What does his face look like? Bird-like. He has a bird-like face.
I saw Robert E. Lee in my head. I don't know why.
It's arguably human, but the nose is. You know how some people have a beak nose?
Well, yeah, a lot of people clearly evolved from birds.
Yeah, but this is not just a nose that looks like a beak. This is a nose that is a fucking beak, basically. And it's wide, it's long, it's pointing down, and it's almost covering his mouth. And he's got big, close together bird eyes.
Yeah.
But he's arguably, on paper, a human. But something ain't right.
Yeah.
And they go, hello? And he goes, the men come and take my brother.
Okay.
And he goes, that man was your brother? And they goes, the men, they come take my brother. And they go, what's going on? Jerry,
Yeah.
what's going on?
They were like, well, you should go down to St. Andrews.
Yeah, they probably took him to the hospital.
Yeah.
He goes, hospital. They took him to the hospital. And they're like, yeah, that's where ambulances take people.
That's where sick people go.
My
Sick.
brother's sick.
Hey, sick.
Ma.
He goes, listen, I think if he... And then Michael can't take anymore. He just stands up. He goes, listen, your fucking brother turned into liquid in front of our eyes, all right? You mind explaining anything to us?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he goes, liquid. Liquid. Soup.
Swords.
Soup. Brother is soup. And then he looks down kind of sad. And he just walks upstairs to their upstairs. And then
Donna goes, she like looks up the stairs at him going, and she looks at Robert like, aren't you going to fucking do something?
And Robert goes, hey, where are you going? And then you left your horse outside, and they look at the horse, and there's just a bunch of birds where the horse was. Mm-hmm. And they fly away.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So then they follow him upstairs. He punches a hole in the wall. And he's ripping all the sheetrock down.
Oh. Okay, well, okay, wait, okay. Okay. I guess so.
Yeah, go.
Well, I was going to say, they hear, because it took them a few seconds to get upstairs, and he's already in one of the rooms, and they go rushing up, and they open a door to the master bedroom, and he's in there, and he had they hear like a commotion, and so they go in, and there's just like feathers flying in the air everywhere because he like tore apart the bedding and the pillows and everything, and he's made a net. You know how birds make nests out of like all different objects? And he's made a nest in the center of the room with every single object that was in the room. Like there's the bed frame is all like taken apart and put into a circle, and the sheets are all knotted in there, and the dresser's broken, and it's all around. It's crazy looking.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's he took all the electrical circuit wires from like the TV and the lamp, and he made them to go through it, so it's like you see like lights and fluorescent parts of it going throughout it. From different objects.
Donna sees it. She screams, Rob goes, "Get the fuck out of my house!"
He goes, "What the fuck?" And he's sitting in the middle, going, "Brother, not here.
Brother is soup.
Brother, soup.
Make more brothers.
Oh my God, is that what this is going?
And then the door just slams.
Yeah. And Naomi's stuck outside though, because she hasn't been really saying much. So she was kind of behind the group, you know.
Okay.
She was
so
actually still at the top of the stairs.
So everybody. Oh, okay. So everybody but Naomi is in the room with them.
You say Naomi?
Yeah, how do you say it?
Naomi.
Well, tomato, tomato.
Yeah. I know a Naomi, and she says it's Naomi.
Well, that's how she says it, but I know a Naomi that calls it Naomi.
Okay, tit for tat.
Do you call them tats?
Yeah.
All right. So what's going on? I guess we're following Naomi now, right? Or are we with them in the room?
Well,
I don't know. Do we want to separate them? I don't know. If you say so.
Well, Naomi should. She seems like the wiser one of the group.
Well, I would think that her and Mike both are.
Yeah. Maybe her and Mike get caught outside together.
Okay.
This is
all
getting
right.
sexy.
And and we'll cut back and forth between the two.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Mike just looks at her and goes, "Are we on drugs?"
And she goes,
"I didn't eat anything."
"I used to do acid in college, and it was nothing like this." She does the hand test, you know.
But then he goes, "Maybe we're on a different
Yeah.
drug," and she goes, "Oh yeah, maybe."
She goes, "Oh yeah, it's 2023. There's got to be some crazy shit going."
So at this point in the episode, Jerry's vocals stopped recording. I was still able to hear him. So for the next minute or two, you'll just hear me talking and responding to him, but you won't hear him. But then his call drops completely, and I can't even hear him. So at that point, he gets back on the call, and he's back on the recording. So it's going to be like a minute or two without Jerry. Then he'll be back. And he's like, "We should go to the hospital." And she's like, I can't think of a more sensible thing to do. Yeah, let's go to the hospital, but we can't drive. No, they're not screaming. No, they're just. I mean, he's assuming he's on drugs. He's kind of talked her into it. She can't think of any other explanation. She's just like, yeah, let's go to the hospital. Let's get her stomachs pumped. I'm out of. I have no suggestions that make sense in this context. So that seems like the most sensible thing. And they're like, he's like, okay, but we can't drive, and then they're like, and then she's like, well, I don't want to call an ambulance because they might, suck us up with a straw. And then and then the door opens and they're all laughing. And they look in, and the Birdman is asleep, and he's like snoring in a really cute way. Jerry, are you there? Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, that was weird. Okay, so we'll just we'll keep going.
Yep.
What was the last thing you heard me say?
I heard everything. It never cut out for me.
Okay. Let's.
So
okay, let's take it.
Well, I was saying,
yeah.
Are they walking to the hospital because they can't drive?
Oh.
She goes, oh yeah. So he's like, we can take Donna and Rob's car. And she's like, okay. She's
No,
like, okay, great. Do you know how to drive there? You know, and he goes, no, I was hoping you could. He goes, she's like, oh, I don't have a license.
They can't drive because they're on drugs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not something that would ever occur to you, but
he's like, well, she's
Yeah.
like, I don't think we should drive. He's like, I mean, I feel like I could drive. It's just like I don't feel like I'm seeing double or anything.
no, Jerry, they wouldn't. I don't think either of these characters would try to drive under the assumption that they're on drugs that are making them see Birdman and liquefaction and
Okay. So that's good. Okay, they don't drive. So now they're walking, dark.
they're walking. The rain is coming down really hard. Mike's like, we should have checked the house for some umbrellas, and she's like,
Yeah.
but they're just getting rained on, and they find.
And then they're still walking in this awkward silence, and she goes, "So why'd you get divorced?"
And he goes, "That's a really rude question."
No. He goes, "Yeah, I know. He came in on a horse. I saw it too."
Yeah.
She goes, "No,
I like that.
yeah."
But they get talking a little bit. You know, now we actually get them. They're talking. They're laughing a little bit, and he's like, he even says to her like, you know, you're cool. If we remember this conversation when we're sober, we should think about hanging out.
She's like, "Yeah. How long do you think these drugs are gonna last?" And
he's like,
I don't know. I remember my roommate in high school used to do acid, and he'd be up for like 3 days.
and she's like, oh boy.
She goes, "Oh, geez, I got to work on Monday."
And they finally come to this hospital, and it's like lit up in neon lights. It looks almost more like a casino than a hospital.
Yeah.
And they walk in, and right through, and right away, these nurses and doctors come like way too attentive. They're like, "Oh, get on the gurney, come on, stat!"
Yeah.
And they
like
get them in.
the doctors in like the white linens and the white head cap and like the the surgical mask. They all start coming in and like evaluating them, like kind of like looking them up and down and like talking to themselves about them.
Yeah.
And they're like, ugh. And then Mike looks at Naomi and is like, "I think we're peaking."
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, I feel like I peaked in my mid-20s."
He goes,
Okay, that's mean. So okay, yeah, so they're getting rushed in the room. They're getting rushed in the rooms, and I want something to happen, and then they get like pushed through a door, and they're just back in a different part of the house.
Yeah.
Like, how do we get there?
They these doctors come over and nurses, and then all of a sudden, they separate them, and then she's like, Mike. He's like, Donna, and they're starting to separate them.
That's not her name.
Naomi.
What was that?
And then they both get forced down on the gurneys, and they strap them down on the gurneys, and they're both getting pushed down opposite hallways. And we get this, the classic looking up at the lights overhead going by quickly,
And then what they bring Rob into the ER.
Okay.
No, into the OR, and the doctor turns around, and he's got this drill, and he clicks it, and it starts going on, and then from that drill, we cut to a blender, and now we're back at the house.
Oh,
and
see,
it's
I was going to
Donna.
actually say something like that, but I think it'd be funny if he turns around with a blender, and he's got the blender open, and he's like, you can see the thing spinning in it, and he's moving the blender towards him. He's got these wide eyes, and Michael's just like, "What the fuck?" And the blender's coming towards him, and all of a sudden, we get a flash, and he's in the kitchen, and the blender he's like on the floor, and the blender is on the floor next to him, and he opened his eyes, and we see his perspective, with the sideways blender.
No, I don't want.
No, you got to keep moving forward.
Okay. Well, you actually interrupted me, and I was moving in a direction. But okay. Okay. So what happened then? That was all
Yeah,
hallucination.
and it.
Oh no hallucinations.
You're the one who said you want them to appear back in the house. I wasn't going there.
That wasn't a hallucination.
No, it wasn't. It's all real.
Can I say what I was gonna
Yeah,
say? Okay, so the doctor pulls out the drill. The drill starts going. He's about to operate on Mike. Then from the drill, we cut to the inside of the blender. Going back, we're back at the house, but we're not with Mike and Naomi. What we're actually is. What is the hostess's name?
Donna and Robert.
Donna. Donna is making margaritas. They're all so Donna, Robert, Samuel, and Beatrice are all hanging out in the kitchen with the Birdman, having a great time.
Oh yeah, and he is the fucking life of the party.
But he's acting, he's just acting the way he is. They just find him so charming. He has just like a little bowl on the floor that he's pecking
exactly.
from, but they put like
but
margarita
he's not,
in it.
and then they finally like tune in on what's going on, and they hear the Birdman going, and then they all go, ah! It's like they all understand what he's saying, but he's speaking bird,
Yeah. And they're like, this guy.
Oh wait, what? Who
is fat? Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, and now, Naomi's kind of like clutching Mike's arm, and they're slowly walking into the room to observe this psychotic scene.
No, Naomi and Mike are back at the hospital.
Oh.
Yeah. This is a cut. We're just cutting to a different location. So they go, so you're telling me that guy was your brother. And you're not even sad that he's dead because you're just going to make more brothers? And he goes, make more brothers. And then he starts going, and he lays a fucking egg on them, like painfully, like it just cuts like violently for a second. He starts gyrating, and this giant fucking egg falls out of his cloak. Mm-hmm. And then it starts shaking. They all get nervous. They all back up.
I was gonna say they're kind of. Are they in like a psychotic state? Are they accepting? Yeah, they're accepting. They were laughing at his jokes. So I think Donna should be like. They should all be like, "Oh, honey, hurry, quick, get the oven mitts."
No, I think this like scared them again.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I think they had kind of acclimated to the reality of this strange bird man. They were like, okay, he's just a weirdo. He's not really a bird. And they're just idiots. So like they were able to ignore some of the stuff,
Really? I mean, he did the whole thing upstairs?
I think we're starting out in a kind of heightened reality.
Oh.
Yeah. We're
it's
like
already Tim Burton land.
It's not Tim Burton land. It's like man, shut the fuck up.
It's like Tim Burton land.
He didn't invent like things being a little off,
But he did it well.
For a while.
All right. So where's happening?
So no, this egg starts shaking. They're freaking out, and then a crack forms, and then it's almost like how it's almost like birds peck their way out.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so it's that, but it's a cock.
Like a big rooster.
No, like a hard penis. So this other little bird man is fucking his way out of the egg.
Oh, it's not just one. It's not just a giant penis. It's part of another. It's attached.
Oh, maybe it's a giant penis, and then maybe it's this giant penis that like had
no.
Like,
oh.
That like it's his giant penis that pecks its way out, and then arms and legs and a head sprout.
Yes, I was gonna say, and then
once it's all the way out
of the pee hole comes another object.
Another brother. Yeah. Actually, maybe 8 of them.
Yeah.
All coming
And
out of each other.
time one comes out, we cut to the Birdman. He goes, another brother,
Yeah.
another brother.
And then they all stand up, and he opens up his cloak, and 8 cloaks fall out of his, and they all put on similar cloaks.
Yeah.
And Samuel goes, "This is getting weird."
And Donna's missing, and they're like, "Where's Donna?" And you hear commotion in the kitchen, and and they go in the kitchen to look, and they see Donna like scurrying and like grabbing more plates and dishes, and they're like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "We don't. I don't think we have enough placemats for all them."
And they're looking at her like she's
Like
crazy.
she's cracked.
Yeah.
She's a dick in the dirt disaster.
Yes. Okay, now we cut back to the hospital. And now we're cutting between the OR, the operating room that Mike's in,
Thanks for clarifying.
and then Naomi's like in a psychiatrist's office, and we're cutting back and forth between them. So the doctor takes the drill. Where does he put it into Mike?
Into his penis, of course.
We just did a penis thing. We don't want people to think we're penis freaks.
Well, one of us is, and it's definitely not me.
Okay. Says, he who denied it is a penis freak.
Okay.
Okay, you're right.
All right, you're right. All right, go. So what happened?
Okay. Wait. So maybe he. Okay. So maybe he opens up Mike's mouth and puts the drill in, and Mike's tongue just starts getting wrapped around the drill bit.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's not like bloody or anything. It's like gummy, And Mike's like, "Oh!" And then we cut to Naomi, and she's sitting there in a straitjacket. And what's the doctor look like? The psychiatrist.
Dr. Goebbels.
No, it's not Dr. Goebbels. You with all this Nazi stuff. And keep your head close to the mic. Maybe it's
You Mike Nazi.
maybe what kind of doctor? What does the doctor
I just feel
look
like all the
Maybe-
doctors and nurses have like surgical masks on. You can't see them.
Okay, all right. So it's a psychiatrist with a surgical mask, which is already a little freaky. And but there's like brown liquid on the surgical mask, like he's been breathing, like almost like he's chewing tobacco under there. Yeah, he's an older guy, and he goes, "So what seems to be the problem, miss?" And she's about to say her last name, and then he goes, "Butterworth." And she goes, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "Oh, I call all my patients that." It's an old industry standard. And
From
she
when?
goes,
1930?
"Okay."
And he goes, 1928, actually.
And she goes, "Why am I in this jacket? I think I just took some bad drugs." And he goes, "You took a bad drug 31 years ago when you were born." And she goes, "What are you saying?" And he goes, "Do you know what the difference between an insane person and a regular person is?" And she goes, "What?" And she goes, "An insane person doesn't know they're insane."
Mm.
And then we cut back to Mike, and the tongue is going around the drill bit, and now it's going past the drill, and it's wrapping around the doctor's arm. The arm is spinning too. And he goes, and then we hear Michael, "I'm afraid I'm gonna eat you." And he goes, "We wouldn't want that, or would we?" And the doctor jumps into Mike's mouth. And then Mike's alone. in the OR, having just swallowed a whole man. And he goes, "What the fuck?" And he gets up and he busts out of the OR. And he goes, "Naomi, Naomi." And she hears him. She goes, "Mike." And he knocks down the door, and the psychiatrist just gets up and goes, "She's all yours." And he grabs her, and they run out of the hospital. And as they run into the street, a bus comes, hits them, but they don't get smashed. Instead, they're just fucking stuck on the front of the bus. The force is carrying them forward.
The force.
And now there's the force of the bus. For some reason, it doesn't smash them. It's just like, when you're driving and a fly gets stuck to your windshield, but it doesn't die and it's just hanging out on it. That's like what's happening with them, and they start talking.
And you know what I do? I turn the window wiper on.
Yeah,
so
but
the truck driver turns the window wiper on.
You think
Yes.
so? Okay, so what happens when he does that?
It starts scratching their faces.
Oh, wait, no, it knocks them off, and they land right back at Donna and Rob's house.
And now they go in.
Yeah.
And now they're creeping. She's like holding him, and they're slowly walking in. And they hear.
And now there's like 30 of those.
They hear a commotion in the kitchen, or the dining room. So they round the corner, and they start to see the inside the dining room. They're slowly walking towards it, and they can now. It's revealing that there are just Birdmen everywhere. There's Birdman on the chandelier. There's Birdman on the table, just sitting. The Asian squat, just like looking at each other, going.
Say, try to say that in a different way. I'm gonna cut out you saying Asian squat.
That's what it's called. I just read an article on it.
Just try a different way to say it.
They're squatting on the table, like birds do, and they're everywhere. There's some on the table behind them. With the what's it called? I don't know, the
credenza.
Yeah, in the back, where all the stuff is. They're just everywhere. Okay, and then
yeah.
So they're walking in, but it sounds like they're all talking, And also at the table, like every other seat, is Donna and Robert, and they're all kind of just standing there, like wide-eyed, like zombies. They're just like staring, but they're eating the food, and they're just putting the food that it's on the fork, and they're just putting it to their mouth, but they're not opening their mouth, and then back down to the plate, to their mouth, down to the plate, and there's just like food everywhere,
Okay, yeah. So they are brain dead now,
and so then now they keep walking closer, and then all of a sudden the last step they creak like on the floor, and everything stops in the room, and all the birds look at them and go, and then they go. Naomi goes, "Oh fuck."
And then Mike goes, "My stomach hurts," and the birds are very suspicious of this. They goes, bellyache."
Yeah, and it starts echoing to the room, and now everyone's saying that bellyache.
Yeah, he's like, "It's just a little gas. It's just," and then one of the birds goes, "Something you ate?" He goes, and then Mike gets a little nervous. He goes, No, I have a sensitive stomach, and it's been a difficult night. Listen, we just came back to thank Donna and Rob for having us, but we really hit it off. I think we're gonna go out for drinks." And then one of the birds goes, "Go out for drinks? Drink here. Drink here. Drink here.
No, drink here. No, drink here. No, drink here."
No, they're saying drink here. Yeah, drink here. And he goes, "No, we kind of want to be alone." He's like, "Alone? No brothers.
Brothers, no, alone.
No. Be with us. Be with brothers. Be with brothers." And he goes, I'd love to, but I really think," he's like, Not a choice.
And now they notice that there's more coming up behind them. And down the door
the
dark
is
hallway behind them, you can see eyes like moving towards them.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, okay. Where are the drinks?" And they go, "On the floor." And they look, and there's a bunch of bird guys drinking margaritas from bowls on the floor. So Mike and Naomi kind of kneel down, and they're like, the birds are watching them. The birds go, "Drink, drink." And so they start drinking from the bowls with the birds. They're really fucking nervous.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I think that they should maybe some cliche like the clock strikes midnight or something. They hear dong, and all the birds stop. They go, and then they all start flapping their wings really hard. And Naomi's like holding.
No, they don't have wings. They're just bird-like, So they got They got like weird. They got weird arms with like loose skin.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
looks like
Well,
wings.
they start
Yeah.
flapping these things, and then it starts getting violent, and then we cut to Naomi and Mike, and she's holding his arm, and their hair's blowing around, because it's and she's kind of squinting. She's like, "What's going on?" He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "Maybe this is the peak." And then all of a sudden the birdmen just start pecking each other. They start to violently, we get close-ups of them ripping off, the beaks going through arms, the beaks going through their faces, and they start destroying each other. Every one of the 30 or 40 birds kills each other. And this goes on for 3 minutes, and it's violent and brutal, cut back and forth.
And there's just some dicks left flopping on the floor.
And
because that's all that's left after you kill them.
But there's all but one, and he seems to be he's the original one because he was kind of bigger.
Yeah.
And so now he goes around and starts eating all of these other birds.
Oh, he starts slurping them up because they start
liquefying.
liquefying.
So he starts slurping them up, and he's getting bigger and bigger as he's slurping. And then eventually he gets giant, he's crouched in the room, hitting the ceiling, legs can't even fit. And they're like, "Oh my God!" And they're watching this, and he's growing, and he finally devoured everything. And then he's like, and then this huge egg comes out of him, and it deflates him.
Yeah.
He almost like if you pull a skeleton out of someone, there's skin bolts.
Yeah.
And this egg just comes out of him. And it hatches, and it's the biggest dick ever.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't just hatch; it fucking fucks its way out.
Oh, it's hitting the walls. It's hitting the back wall all the time.
Yeah. And it's this big dick, but then big legs sprout out of it and big arms sprout out of it. And then it's an even bigger bird man.
And this goes on for about 20 minutes, this cycle.
Yeah. Till eventually the house is ripped apart. They've stayed alive just avoiding pieces of sheetrock and cement falling. All of the original hosts, the other guests have been crushed. And it's this giant fucking bird man. I mean, it's the size of a redwood. And it looks down and it goes, what does it want?
Yeah, what does it want? What do birds want?
Worms.
Do they? Oh, yeah. I guess they do.
And it goes, worms. And it rips off the roof of houses and starts eating the people inside like a bird pulling worms.
Yeah, but it's only pulling the dicks off of guys.
No, I think it's okay. I like that. Well, because this thing's so big that if it's pulling dicks off, that's difficult.
Yeah. Maybe he's very precise.
Maybe it doesn't get the size of a redwood.
Yeah, that's huge.
But yeah, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's ripping off roofs. It's a giant, and it's pulling guys out, and yeah, it's eating their dicks. And there's just this town of all these men being like violently castrated by this giant bird, and Mark goes, "This is awful," and Naomi goes, "I'm sorry," and he goes, "Wait, why are you saying you're sorry?" He's like, "I think the doctor said that I was born on drugs, and I think that my whole life has just been a trip, and you might just be a part of it." And he goes, "That doesn't make sense. I'm just meeting you." And he goes, she's like, "Well, yeah, but I mean, have you ever had a dream and you just meet someone? You know, they to you, if you ask them, they got a whole life, but you just made them up in your head." And he goes, "But I love you." And she goes, "Yeah, I think I love you too. But I don't know what that means."
Mm.
And he goes, "Well, I don't know. I mean, this is the only world I've ever known, and maybe this is all just a drug trip, but I'm seeing these men in pain. I'm seeing their families watching horror as their dicks are being ripped off by this giant bird man. And, I mean, we have to do something about it. If this is your hallucination, I mean, like, can't you control it?" And she's like, I don't think I've ever been in control of it. Can you do anything?" And he's like, "No, but," and he pukes out the doctor.
Whoa.
Yeah. And the doctor goes, "I knew you'd be good transportation, my boy."
Oh.
And he goes, "Tell me, Rob, are you circumcised?" And he goes, "No, I'm not." He's like, "I am afraid you're gonna have to be." And the doctor quickly circumcises him and eats his foreskin, and then grows to the size of the bird.
Okay.
And he whistles at the bird, and he goes, "Hey, stop eating all those dicks." And they battle like King Kong versus Godzilla style. This giant doctor versus this giant bird man. And they're like fucking just knocking each other out. These two titans, and Rob and Naomi are talking, and she's like, I don't know what'll happen when one of them wins, and like, will this just keep going on?
And Mike's like, "I don't know, but just come over here and let's watch." And
yeah,
then the giant doctor and the giant bird fight, and then eventually the giant bird eats the giant doctor, and then he's like, "Now and he vomits out an even bigger doctor.
Oh yeah, and the doctor is a giant now. The bird, he doesn't vomit it out. The doctor rips himself out. And he's even bigger now because he's chewing on the bird's dick, which has made him a giant. And then now he's this giant doctor, and he looks at the clouds and he goes, "Stop!" And the rain stops.
Mm.
And he takes the cloud and he parts them, and it's sunny. And then he starts picking up wounded man after wounded man and sewing their penises back on. And putting them back in their houses.
Mm.
And putting the roofs back on their houses. And he touches the original house guests. He puts one finger to each of their heads. And they wake up. And all is well.
That's lame. I hate movies like that.
It's not over. Oh. This is just...
Are you kidding? This is the credits, man.
I mean, no, because this is just... This is all happening. Mark and Naomi are just watching this from a hilltop with a blanket over their shoulders. And
See, I was gonna go to the extent that it keeps going and going to the point that he gets so large that he's like exiting the atmosphere and he's causing the Earth to lose course and the whole Earth crumbles and explodes.
No, we're not going back.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so Mark and Naomi are like, they've just been watching this, and then Naomi goes, "Now what?" And he goes, "I think, I don't know. I mean, what do you do? Like, if you're, what, like, are you just in a mental hospital somewhere, dreaming this all up?" And she's like, "I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's really happening." And then bzzz, there's lightning all of a sudden, but it's not just lightning. It's electricity fucking everywhere in every direction, and the whole world breaks. The whole, like, the sky breaks and falls away.
It's not even me.
And it's just black, and it's just blackness. The whole, like, scene breaks around her, and it's just like blackness, and then her eyes open up, and she's in a like a hospital in like in the 50s, and she's getting electroshocked, and they stop and they look at her and they go, her eyes opened, and they go, Naomi? The end?
Yeah. Well, okay. So it should be like a little kind of a Wizard of Oz kind of thing. So they're, the doctor should be Mike. you know, and the nurse should be Donna. And Robert should be like the therapist in the corner. You know, all the characters from the dinner table are actually in the room. And she wakes up, she goes, "What's going on?" And they go, "She's awake." And then they move in, they go, "Can you hear us?" She's like, "Yeah." They go, "Do you remember anything?" She goes, I was at dinner." And they go, "She's still delirious." And then they take her.
Wait, but the doctor says that she's been insane since she's been on drugs since she was born. Meaning I think her whole life she's been hallucinating leading up to this. This is her first time waking up into this reality.
Okay.
And I you know what? I'm suspending any kind of veto power. If you want it, we can keep it. But I would say let's not do the Wizard of Oz thing. I think we should keep it ambiguous about the connection between... Well, I'm willing not to if you want to keep it. I'm explaining a preference.
Well, what do you have?
That I don't know. I would have just ended it at like her waking up and like the doctors all like shaking hands and like one of them saying like 32 years in the catatonic psychosis, and I think we saved her, boys. I don't know. All right, I'm down to keep. I'm down to keep playing with it. What do you think?
Well, I think there should be some relation to a bird.
Okay, all right. Let's keep it going. Maybe none of that. Oh, you're scaring me. The noise you're making is scaring me, Jared.
So, okay.
I didn't like that at all. Like, what the fuck? Why'd you turn into a dog?
Got really excited. Okay, so so they go. What they say to her last? Like, you've been in hallucination for 30 years, and I think we just cured you.
No, they don't say that. That'd be a weird thing to say. It was already implied by the psychiatrist in her hallucination.
Okay. So then they look at each other. They go, and they walk out of the room, and they're in that room, the two-way mirror room or the one-way mirror, two-way mirror, and they're looking at her now, and they're like going over their notes. They're like, "I can't believe it actually worked. This is a real miracle of science." And and now don't forget that they're two doctors in the same. They looked exactly like the ones in her hallucination, but now we can see their mouth because their mask came down, and they're talking to each other. And they go, and the female doctor's like, yes, this case we solved, but the overall problem still remains. And he goes, I know. Why can't you just let me forget about that for once in my life? And she goes, forget about it. You're lucky you have this secure job so that they don't get us. And he goes, you're right. And then they're saying this as they're walking down the hall, leaving the hospital. And as they leave, we are opened into this world, this fucking post-apocalyptic looking area and then they're quickly escorted into like a safety car. It looks like a safety car, and they're taken away. And then as they do that, the camera zooms out, and we see this barren apocalyptic landscape. And in the air, there's just hundreds and thousands of bird people, the cloak guys. It's like gliding around, going, brother, soup, brother, soup, and then it just ends.
Okay. Do you love it? If you love it,
I turned into a dog for it.
Yeah, if you love it, I don't want to say no.
No, I love it because you know how when you dream, you kind of like incorporate the sounds into your hallucinations.
So let's have two alternate endings. Can I just tell you what my director's cut is?
Oh, you're the director.
Well, okay. My producer's cut.
What is it?
That it just ends with her opening her eyes.
Okay. Wow.
No, I don't know. Okay, maybe I don't make a producer's cut. Maybe we just make it your version.
Well, you add something to it.
I don't know. What do you think of this movie?
I can't believe we're sitting here arguing over this. Oh my god.
There's something to it.
Yeah. Oh, I liked it.
I like it. I love it.
What's it called? The Uninvited Guest?
Yeah, Uninvited Guests. I feel like we gotta end it. I feel like we gotta really end it in a way we love. To be completely honest,
so round 3. What do you got?
Okay, maybe we don't even do. All right, okay. How about this? Let's take it all the way back to they're sitting on the hill. They're watching the doctor fix everything. What do they say to each other? Who says what to who?
Well, I think it'd be funny if, just a little side diversion where she goes, so why didn't you become a chef? What stopped you? Oh, wait, no, we know why. Never mind.
Oh, okay. She's like, do you ever think about
going back to being a chef?
Culinary school? And he's like, now that I know I'm probably a hallucination, it kind of feels like, what's the point? And she's like, what was the point when you didn't think you were a hallucination? He's like, that's an interesting question. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm hungry right now, so I still have to eat. And she goes, yeah, I'm hungry too.
Oh.
And he goes, do you, don't you want to wake up and live your life? And she's like, I don't know how. Why don't we just go get breakfast? And they just walk down the hill, and that's the end.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Don't be so harsh, man. I'm fucking trying. I don't hate that. Of the ideas...
Yeah, but you rewound the film 20 minutes and then ended it.
Of the ideas, that's the one I like the most. But I'm down to keep pitching till we find something we both like. But right now, that's what I like the most.
Yeah.
I don't know. All the fight still happened between the bird, the man still sewed all the dicks back on. That all still happened, but then that's just how I like it. But I'm down to keep trying till we find something we both like.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how to end movies.
Well, just take it, pick a spot and take it.
Um. it's, Uh. Uh. Well, they're watching it.
Yeah, they're watching the doctor sew the dick's back on. It's morning. It's a Sunday morning, right? So what happens then?
Well, they're watching it and they're like, oh, he's an artist with the needle. And then it cuts to the morning, and they wake up by the rock that they were sitting on.
Yeah. Well, I think it's already the morning. Maybe it's that they fell asleep in each other's arms watching him sew dick back on, and then they wake up in the afternoon.
And they're like stretching, like, did you have a weird dream? No. Did you?
Wait, he goes, no, I am a weird dream.
And he just bites her head off.
Oh, I like it.
Yes.
I like it. Yes. I think I hate it.